She should play.
Okay. You should play.
Hello and welcome to the East Lampeter Township Public Meeting. All participants are now informed that this meeting is being recorded. This meeting is also being offered virtually utilizing Zoom, which is a cloud-based platform for remote video and audio conferencing. The Zoom application is free to the public. The general public is therefore able to join the meeting by connection through the internet or by calling in by phone. The public is also able to observe the meeting on the Township's YouTube channel. Please continue to check the Township website calendar for any updates related to these public meetings. Agendas for these public meetings will also be available on the Township's website. Please be reminded that this meeting is being video and audio recorded and will be posted to the Township's YouTube channel for viewing. The meeting will now proceed with the chairman calling the meeting to order and identifying all other members present in the meeting room and those joining the meeting via Zoom. The chairman will then confirm those members joining by Zoom can be heard.
Yeah, again, I mean, we did the welcoming and everything else. We're gonna move on with that. Present, we have Todd Stump, myself, Rick Robinson, Fred Clark, and Vinnie Patel, township officials, Tara Hitchens, Charlie Thomas, and Steph Leakway.
Mr. Chairman, we'd like to introduce Kim Peastrack as the Assistant Township Manager.
Oh, Kim.
Hello.
No, I missed last semester. She's there. I can read. Good enough. Fred, you can take only one to here. We've had the minutes for at least 3 weeks now, so unless there's any additions or corrections to last month's minutes, they're gonna stand approved as written. Hearing none, we'll move on. Treasurer's report, sanitary sewer.
Rick, we have checks that need written in the amount of $10,145.18. And as the end of July, we have a checking account balance, $15,135.95.
We have bills.
Yeah, there's one requisition. Requisition number 03-667. Payable to Roland Rubik for a total of $7,018.02. It is on your engineer's report. What else involved with that? Read all how well.
We're good. We're going for a motion to pay the sanitary sewer bill. No recommendations, I should say.
I'll make a motion.
Say aye. Aye. Opposed? Stormwater. Treasurer's report.
Rick, we have invoices that need paid in $9,802.02. And we have a checking account balance of $52,043.27. That was the invoices. I don't know if we have any requisitions for.
There's no.
Motion to pay the mega bridge.
Pay the bills with stormwater fund.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Business under sanitary sewer, Stauffer, on upgrade.
I believe it was last week, the belts and ship assembly was finally installed. Talking with the sewer superintendent, Larry Frankfurt, it seems like it calmed down a lot of the vibration. He feels there's still a little bit there. I'm not sure if there's seriously a little bit of adjustment I need to get. We're on it. It has helped. A lot. They gave a vibration, but I for where they're at. I don't know if they came back in to do the final vibration testing.
Stauffer run. CFA fund.
Good home station, exchanged email with Solicitor Cream to see if the letter has gone out to Mr. Nisley yet. He was waiting on Mr. Sitchy meets and bounds for the easements in order to produce the whole paperwork for eminent domain. And as of Monday, that still has not taken place. Matt,
Disley never responded.
he never called me back. I did speak to him in person, maybe a month. And he kind of backed down with parts of giving the easement for the gravity sewer to eliminate the pump station. The last meeting.
No, I mean, I don't.
So Mr. Cream was directed by himself that he needed to at least reach out, send a letter. The authorities will take to make this project happen.
Stop run pump station went well into the project.
No, it's not complete. They were waiting on a bypass plug for the closed side, to be able to finish the project. So it's had something. They were hoping to have it by the end of July, and obviously that did not happen. Waiting for an update.
Plug?
Yeah, it's a bypass plug, so they can flow go through instead of being in the channel. So they don't have to set up a bypass pump to pump it around the station. There's an air plug they put in there, which allows the sewage to go through. There's some piping that connects to that.
Okay. Any other CFA funding reports? We'll go to the very first wet project.
Matt, thank you. Yes. Engineering report, Matt is at. They did their final testing and the company ECS stated that they would know in probably a couple of weeks what the conditions were underground and under the stream to where it's going to connect to the sewer main on over.
Where's this culvert at? Where's this culvert at?
This is going underneath Mill Creek.
Yeah, it was a culvert that the state wouldn't allow us to go about replace it. Didn't I read that somewhere? Culvert.
Yeah. Shifting the line because PennDOT's
Just north of Mill Stream Road. There's a culvert there. There's a small stream that comes in.
Yeah.
The party that brought a lot of this about. There's a culvert there that I think it's easier to go out around it now instead of under it. Yeah, it's just north of, like I said, Windy Hill and Mill Stream Road.
Okay, I guess we're moving on. Yeah, and fire.
There was a meeting held last week. The staff, the city, and Kettle Fire, and the gentleman back here are from Kettle Fire. Progress made with that. The conditions that were happening, I know one of the things is the grease trap, there were no baffles installed in it, so it was just a straight through shot. Sure, but we're investigating that. I don't know if you were at the meeting, I was online at it, if you want to fill it in.
Right, so the city came as well to the meeting and they indicated that Kettle Fire need to apply for pre-treatment under the industrial ordinance for the city, which the township is also a part of. And it's in sense, both Brian and Elvin, who were present, were at the meeting as well. They were aware of the problem and already beginning to consider short-term and term solutions to keep the grease waste in the grease trap versus in the stepper station, because our public works staff has been working a lot to maintain that station and was sucking off the grease as it was coming into the station at a faster rate than they could suck it off with the gap packs. Do either of you want to add anything?
Yeah, we can. So, don't you need to stand up?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Brian, I'm CEO, Kevin Meyer. Let's thank you for having us, and we want to, first apologize for the issues that we've caused, and just know that we're committed to being good partners and good members of this community. We've taken a lot of actions internally. Now that we're kind of aware of the scope of the issue around fixing the grease trap, and also making some process changes to prevent fat from entering the system in the first place. Working with JG Environmental on assessing, cleaning up the lines, cleaning out the pump station as well, so that we're making that whole, so that the damage that we caused. And I think, really, and then we're working on the permit application is the revision as well. So I just want you to know that we're taking it all hands on deck, which is top priority to get this fixed. And this is a starting point for open lines of communication, because we want to make sure that we're aware of other issues, so we can prevent them, and then we can just stay responsive members of the community.
Some of the water flows, some of the waste flows, those numbers were staggering. Is that going to continue? Is that just part of your startup process? You're still figuring it out, or is that a staggering number?
Yes, it is part of startup. So we are installing a chilled water system that will significantly reduce those flows. We are estimating internally about 140,000 gallons a day reduction once we have that system in place, which is scheduled for.
Will that treatment allow the temperature to be lower? I think one of the issue was the temperature was too high, what was coming out of the system, into the system.
Elvin, can you speak to that?
Yeah, so that partly will help reduce that, and also we're putting in heat exchangers as well. So on the outfeed, right, it will control the temperature as well. So there won't be any issues with high temperature. So that'll solve the volume, the consumption, and also the temperature. Yeah.
There's some question too, as far as the overall volume that was applied for and paid for in EDUs, and then these numbers were.
Yeah.
Where are we at on that? I mean, do we know what, I guess it's really hard to say what your numbers are going to be.
Yes, it is, but we're acknowledging, we're honestly internally, we've had some change in leadership, and we're trying to understand the source of the first application number came from, but we understand it was way under scope, and we're working internally to figure out, the real number that we need to make sure we're.
And is that township, or is that city, or who's the other side of it? Both, because it's industrial waste, so the city has to be.
And the water usage, I think they said it had something to do, there's Susquehanna. Basically, permit they need to fill out because of the large amount of water that's being used easily to the basin.
It's only a Susquehanna River Basin Commission.
Really? It's being used. And then once they zero in on those numbers, they'll be able to figure out the addition the.
So the chillers component of the fix, and then a bypass to initially is another component of the fix, so that the first fix isn't going to get us to what the actual number is. It's the long-term fix that's going to give us what the general usage will be on a weekly basis.
Will there be more outside stage tanks to slow that flow down versus?
You have an engineer.
Is there an engineer designing? So you're in the process of figuring it out.
An engineer out of St. Louis or something. You guys.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a local engineer. someone specialized in this.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I can imagine. Okay.
I don't know, I just want to thank you for your honesty and your concern.
Thank you for coming in.
Upfront with us here, yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man, because I know you're starting up, you're also doing something that you're figuring it out as you go and a little flexible. It's just that the end game is to get it all.
Yeah, yeah. Again, we just want to make sure that we're solving with you all, so. Get that.
Yeah, they're working close with Larry too. Some of our areas, these manholes, the mechanisms inside, wouldn't say they're damaged beyond control anymore, but there is some damage to them. But they're working through a process to either replace or have that fixed and taken care of. That's on the force main. When it leaves south of Run, some of our these manholes are just packed full of grease, so a lot of the grease did go through the station. The city hasn't seen any of it yet, I think, as of the meeting last week. But they're keeping an eye out to see how far it did make it.
Okay.
But these guys said that they're fixing it.
And that's good. We appreciate it.
Please continue to work with the staff at the township, and we appreciate that.
Thanks.
Thank you. Old business under area sewer. Hearing none, old business under stormwater, it says none, but that doesn't always mean Tara.
Right, and that's the case this time, but great news. DEP has finally approved the revolving water fund with I2 Capital. So all of that information has been submitted and the pollution reduction plan has been resubmitted. We're waiting for that final number to come through. 2 years of going round and round with them. Finally have it.
Work at their rate or their pace of play, huh? Okay, new business under sanitary sewer, it says none. Well, this is gonna be the shortest meeting in life, I think.
Route 30 and Rockman.
Actually, your solicitor and the applicant's solicitor are working through a revised agreement for you to, yeah.
Rick made the Sunday paper. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I saw the article.
What the, I wasn't at the last meeting, you put in your name.
Yeah, we didn't put Rockville on there because it really wasn't us subject to the engine. We didn't want public showing up. Satisfaction to the agreement at this point.
Okay.
Do I understand that they're going through the supervisors trying to get some reductions that way too? Is that right?
Sewer? No.
Pursuing.
So it's like,
For traffic study, the board did agree to a $20,000 fee in lieu of instead of completing a traffic study. And they also agreed to the park and rec fees at $30,000 per building in parcel 2 and $27,000 per building in parcel 5. And that those funds are put into an escrow account that can then be reimbursed to the applicant for doing the streetscape improvements up to $300,000.
Thank you. New business under stormwater, it says none.
It is not.
One thing. Next 2 to 3 years, we've been doing the videotaping of the storm sewer. The engineers had all this information, videos. We are sitting down on Monday morning with the engineer to go over the contract. They're ready to go out for bid for the 1.2 million budgeted for all the dig ups, the lining of the pipes. So that should be moving forward here within the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so there will be something this year yet?
Yes. Yep. And they're just about done videotaping.
Will they actually start construction this year? Or will they, your bidding, will they start this fall?
Yeah, that's the plan, to have it out there working on it this fall.
Okay.
So it's actually not bidding, it's through CoStar's vendors, so that it is.
Yeah. Yeah, there's multiple co-stars vendors out there that once we okay what the engineer wants to put out there, they're already aware this is coming.
Yeah, okay.
So sharpen their pencils and the videotaping is still being. So I think we said that was like a 7 to 10 year project. We're in year 4 or 3. But $1,000 a year. Get it done. So we forward the following year with another project. So the time here will be another. We did find, I think I mentioned at the last meeting, a bunch of crawl bores at Southridge with UGI. They applied for the permits and they have been in the process since the middle of last week repairing all those. Dig up.
So your utility companies are gonna take care of their problems
Yep.
before you even,
We're making sure all watertight bands are going back on the repair areas. The gas lines are getting moved. It's all they're done.
okay?
Maybe this is East Lander Township residents. Some money. Any other business? Public comment? Motion to adjourn?
Second.